Hi,
Hey,
everyone.
girls. How are you tonight?
Good.
Very excited.
Good. It's party time.
It
It's
is.
so party time. Got my ears on or my
You do?
whatever they are.
Keep thinking I need to go find my matching bow, hair bow.
Yeah, hair bow. I need it in blue. I really need to search for that. And then I need to beat it, of course.
Of course. It
Add that
definitely-
to the list.
Yeah, exactly.
The growing list.
The growing list.
So I can't believe it's Wednesday again. The time is flying by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
Summer is flying by.
Wednesdays are very summer. Oh my gosh, summer is definitely flying
we're
by, right?
almost to August. So
Yeah, we're almost into fall, which I'm excited about because
No.
I know, but I like comfiness. Like
No, I love fall. But I want to enjoy summer a little more.
yeah. Well, you have harsh weather, so
Right.
you deserve that.
Hi, Rosalinda.
Hi, Rosalinda.
hey,
Oh,
Hi, Cozy.
Cozy.
CC in the house.
So what we want to do is we always say every Wednesday night is we want to encourage you to chat and ask any questions that you have about tonight's show or anything else that we do on Cool2Craft. And we are going to, of course, do our Wednesday night Whatnot show, which starts at 10:15 Central. And hey, it's Carrie. Hi, Carrie. And Gina, too. And so we're going to put the link into the chat. I'll grab it, Ann, for tonight's Whatnot. Ann and I did try a show this morning, which was a handmade show. And it was a little quiet because it was at 10 o'clock in the morning and we wanted to give it a try because I was telling Ann I get really tired on Wednesday nights when we do this show and we do Whatnot and we're up shipping, which I'm so grateful for. But I thought, let's try and split it. Well, we're just going to stick to our Wednesday night shows.
I tried. I literally rolled out of bed, made my coffee, and went to watch your show. I was the first one to order. I can't wait to get my order.
We love you for that. Thanks, Jules.
Yeah, it was cool because I got to see the process of like what happened next. Like I got a notification from Whatnot.
Oh, good.
And then it showed me my breakdown, and I had that $5 credit because I guess when I bought something from another shop, I don't think people probably know, like, you can rake up some credit,
right?
Yeah,
and buy stuff. I mean, it's kind of interesting. So make sure you learn about that.
Right, and that's when you use our referral link, you get $15 credit. So if you only spend $5 this week, then you still have a credit on
crazy.
So you can spend yourself right through that $15 over one night or several weeks.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
See, and I have not bought anything. We need to go raid Juliana's show and buy something from her so we can see the process. So because it's an interesting
wire. I'm down to a lot of artistic wire, and it has got to find a new home.
So when is your next show, Jules? When is your?
So it will be next Thursday because it's just too much to organize, and I kind of want to get some feedback from people. I don't know really how to sell it because the range of gauge, like somebody who works with 10 gauge, somebody who works with 18-22 gauge, somebody who does 26 gauge, 28, like there's a whole range of wire, and then there's colors. And I mean, it's all the good stuff, it's all the good stuff. So anyway, that's going to be next Thursday at 5:15 Pacific Standard Time.
Okay, so we'll remind everyone in next week's show.
Yeah.
I know you're going to be off at some point, Jules, and I know, Ann, you're going to be traveling, but I think we may all be here for next week's show.
Yes.
I think so too.
Eileen is here tonight.
Eileen.
Hey, Eileen.
When you pop into that chat, we're always going to invite you in, so you let us know if you want to join us.
While
you're deciding on that, I do want to show everyone that this is the giveaway. that,
Oh,
that we are giving away tonight. Now, we talked about this last week. What we do is we give you all week to join us on our Facebook group, and then we ask a question. And I didn't have many answers this week, so I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. So the question this week was, what's your favorite craft tip? And I realized I was going to show you what my favorite craft tip is. I think I can do a quick demo.
ooh.
So, have my Aleene's tacky glue. Now I have to find my tape. Somebody else cover for me here until I find.
Okay. I just made you large on the screen. So,
Oh no,
Eileen, I am
around.
sending you the link if you want to come on.
So I thought
Dorothy,
this was.
Brenda, Mary, all of you. Thanks for joining us.
Hey,
So I
let me
find
know
my-
if anybody finds this in a jewel loom blue. Like I need jewel loom blue. Let me know
Where
if you
did you-
find.
Where
this-
did you get that one, Jules?
I think it came with like a beauty set, and I think I want it at Mango.
Okay. So here's my tip tonight. You can go back.
Oh, there you go.
All right. So I actually have a video on YouTube that I filmed at the YouTube studios in LA. So you know how when you cut off the tip of this and sometimes too much glue comes out? Well, you can take a piece of tape and you can make your own thin glue spout, but not like that. See if I can keep this one from sticking onto itself. All right, so you're coming at an angle, right? And then you just start twirling it, and it's going to go into and wrap around to have a tiny spout. Can you see that? You can see it if I hold it up.
Yep.
So that's how you can, with tape, make a tiny line out of your big glue bottles.
Wow.
So that's what I was thinking of when I put the question into, and thanks, Ann, into our Facebook group this week. And so there were just a couple of responses. And so our giveaway winner, I think actually may be here.
Yay. We love
It's
that.
Carrie, if this is the right Carrie Logan McKillian. Is that you, Carrie? Cottage Cozy? Is that the Carrie? So let me read to you what she wrote. This was her tip. You can reposition hot glued items by warming them with your embossing gun. The heat loosens them up. I also use my embossing gun on price tags on items I may have picked up from the thrift store to use. Those tags can be very stubborn, and they like to leave some sticky adhesive behind when you try to peel them off. This way, the tags come off with no problem.
Wow.
Congratulations.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's so good.
And so, Carrie, you can DM me in the group with your mailing address, and I will ship these out to you. And Jules, tell everybody about your tassel maker.
Yeah, so that's a tassel maker from Jewel Loom. It is made out of a sustainable Baltic birch. And if I'm not mistaken, that looks like almost 1/4 of an inch thick. It's really super sturdy. That we gave out to every one of the participants with the Bellicon event year before last, I think.
2024. Yep.
That's 2024. It says on
2024.
here.
And
Right.
so I'm actually doing a segment with the tassels. August 13th-ish, whatever Wednesday that is.
I think it
I
is.
want-
The
It is
13th.
the 13th.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing that. And yeah, so that's an awesome gift. And then you have some beads there where you can string them. And I have some samples of how that looks. So
Right.
very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice beads.
Yeah. So, Carrie, what we're hoping you will do is craft from these. And then
Yeah.
come on the show, and you can either
Ooh.
send photographs of what you do, or you can come on live, as you know.
Oh, I would
So,
love to see that.
Yeah, we love everyone to do that. So
Yeah.
once again, we want to invite you to join us at the Cool2Craft community, which is a group on Facebook. And then you get previews of things before I post them anyplace else, and share kind of behind the scenes what's going on at Cool2Craft. So join us at our group. We have a really wonderful group that's just starting, and we'd love to have you part of this. Thank you for posting that. Oh, actually, that was the StreamYard link I see.
That's the StreamYard link for everybody.
Okay.
I will grab
So-
I already had that in there.
Okay. So Do you all want to have anything to add at this point? And then we can talk about, actually, Anne, if you want to talk about inviting anybody else on, you can let them know about why the links are there.
Okay, I am also grabbing the Cool2Craft link, but
okay.
Yes, so if you guys want to come on and share what you're creating, I just put a link in there. It would put you in the back room and we would let you have a minute to share what you have been creating. And we love to see what everybody's doing because this is everybody's community.
Yes.
Yes.
And all three of us, we have been doing show and tell in the past, but actually all three of us tonight have demos. How did that happen?
Whoa.
I know, right?
Who is prepared?
I know. I'm so happy for all of us because, we all have a lot of things to do during the week, as we know you do. And so I am so grateful for my creative girlfriends who take the time to prepare for this show, because Anne has lives. You had a live this morning.
8 a.m., not usual for us.
Right.
But Dress My Craft was our feature, and they're in India. So if you did not see that one, you're going to want to watch it because we always give so many great tips.
They're amazing.
They are amazing. And when you see their card, you would think it's embossed.
Oh.
But they actually die cut all the pieces and placed them on the card.
Oh my heck. Yeah, she's crazy talented. Yeah, they're very cool. They're very cool.
I see that Carrie is posting about finding Aleene's tacky glue at the local dollar store. Yes, I actually stock up from my Dollar Tree with the Aleene's tacky glue because they're a really nice size.
Yeah, 3 ounces.
Hey, surprise.
Hey. Does she know where she's at?
Well, she told me she was having trouble getting on.
She must not be able to hear us.
I can't. Wait a minute.
We can hear you.
Hey, sorry. Oh, I didn't know I was. I had two things going.
It was a great blank stare.
I know.
I see Linda's in the back room, but Linda, it says your device is not connected.
So yeah, she's going to have to go out and come back in. So Eileen, when you make those amazing faces, it's really fun for me to put those into my 90-second show wrap.
Yes.
Don't. Sorry, I had all these tabs up because I kept trying to get in, and then I had two sounds going at one time. And anyway, good to see you guys.
It's so good to see you too. We were just saying, we can't believe it's been a week.
Yeah.
Where are the weeks going?
I don't know.
The days, the nights.
I don't know, but
good.
They should stop for a little bit so I can get caught up.
Do we ever get caught up?
No,
I don't think so.
No.
We cross 2 things off and add 5.
Yeah, I know.
Am I caught up? No, I was saying hi to Beatrice. I was in no way.
You were saying I'm caught up.
No, look at now.
We need a blooper reel from the lives. Yes, Mary, we might.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. Right. Well, and
Linda, do you want to go out and come back in?
Yes.
Because I can't bring you in. It says you're not connected.
So Eileen, we do have a question for you then. Do you want to show anything tonight? Because we'll make sure you get scheduled in here. We all have demos tonight. So
I just have
time at the end.
I have like 2 quick things. One is this is a watercolor that I did on canvas because I was wondering if it would work, and it's kind of blurry, but I love how the colors turned out. So that was one thing. And this was the little book that we did yesterday on a live, and I made a digital out of my watercolors and
nice.
Put them on the book, and then I made some little things. And anyway, that was what I worked tonight. I'm working on tomorrow's video. So that's all I got.
Okay.
That's very cool though.
That's awesome. I did see that little notebook on my social media. Yeah. So that's cool that you were sharing that tonight.
And I'm glad that you are printing your watercolors and using them in new ways. I think that's awesome.
Oh, yeah. It's a little tricky because I don't work in Photoshop. I work in Illustrator, and it's not really conducive to that. So I kind of have to do some fiddling around with it. But yeah, it's exciting. Anyway.
Those are gorgeous. So
Perfect.
pretty.
So, Ann and Jules, who wants to go first tonight?
Well, I don't know how detailed is yours, because I don't know.
Mine's only 3. I think it's a 3-minute video.
Okay.
I can do
Ann?
mine first if you want to. You want me to do that?
Sure.
Or do you
Yeah,
want to do that? Okay.
Yeah.
So I played with the cyanotype from, have you seen this before, Eileen?
Yes. Is that from Jacquard?
This one is from Barely Art.
Okay.
I met at one of the shows that I went to this year. And so you can make these little prints with weeds from your garden, basically. So what I've done is I put together a video, because this process actually takes place outside and such. So, Ann, I'm going to let you, if you don't mind, queuing up the video, and we're just going to pop on over to that.
I'm Tiffany Windsor from Cool2Craft, and my project today is cyanoprint mini prints. These sweet little prints are easy to make with flowers and weeds from your garden. This technique works on different types of natural surfaces, including paper, fabric, leather, wood, cotton, linen, or silk. This is the coolest non-toxic antique sun printing process that actually dates back to the 1800s and uses light to produce a beautiful cyan blueprint. This is my first time trying this craft, and I am hooked. The first step is to add water to each of the bottles. Give them a shake and let them sit for 24 hours. You can actually leave them in this stage for up to 6 months. Then, when you are ready to use, just mix equal parts A and B. I just used a ball jar. It really doesn't take much, so start with small measurements. Once you mix part A and part B together, it will expire within 2 to 4 hours, so plan ahead. Next step is to brush the liquid onto your surface. I'm using a Nina watercolor paper and a bristle brush. You can also use a foam brush. As you can see at this step, the liquid is a bright yellow-green. Remember that since this is a UV light-activated process, you will want to work in a dimly lit area. Also, you can wear gloves during this application and the rinse process, but that is optional. Set the paper aside to dry in a dark room. As you can see, I was generous in applying, so some of the liquid pooled on the paper, but I was fine with that because I think that makes this look more organic. When the paper is dry, head outside to gather your plant materials. You can also use dried plants in this process, but I picked directly from my weed garden. Many instructions show using a frame with glass to press your materials flat, but I didn't have that, so I gathered a glass baking dish, a cutting mat, and my dry paper. I layered the cutting mat, the paper, the weeds, and the baking dish, and I headed outside. It only takes a few minutes for the sun printing process to start on a sunny day. I left mine out for about 5 minutes and then pulled off the weeds to reveal the print. I then headed back inside right away because it will keep processing in the sun. Some instructions say to gently immerse your print in water in a bucket, but I headed to my sink to rinse the paper. You will immediately start to see a shift in the colors. I set my papers aside to let them process and dry to the full deep blue, and then I cut the prints down to size for my mini frames. I think you will really enjoy this cyanoprint process to create your own artwork. Happy crafting!
That's
so
amazing.
Cool. That's crazy.
Cool.
I've never done that.
I know.
That's
And I
cool.
think the thought of it intimidates a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it was so incredibly easy. And then I also took, I went to Goodwill, and like this frame, which was so amazing, was $2.99. And that gave me the inspiration for these little mini prints. And then I also at Goodwill found these that
Oh
you
my
can clip
gosh.
on. And so I just put the little prints there
So
too.
So cute.
And, you know, you have a lot left over. So it's really a cool technique. I would space them. This is actually eggshells. I have seen videos where they also line like bottles up and have the sun shining through the bottles so they shadow onto the paper, and then you get the outlines of the bottles. It's amazing. I've also seen, but I haven't watched the videos where you can actually change the color a little bit, even though the whole process and the idea is the dark blue. There are other ways of giving it a little bit of color. So
Wow.
I'm hooked. That's all I can say.
Cool.
I think everybody in the comments are hooked too. They're like, oh my
Right.
goodness.
And-
And I
and
think most
so-
people haven't heard of it or tried it
Yeah.
before.
So I really want to thank Barely Art because they did send this to me. I met them at one of the shows, and I actually tagged them today in the social media, and they thanked me for creating this project. And I really I do have in my blog tomorrow, I will post this project where I have all the step outs. I'll have my YouTube video that I just played, and I have a link to being able to purchase this kit. There's so much that's still left in here, and I probably have done, I don't know, 10 sheets of paper. I actually mixed so much. I have paper that has already, so this I kept in a dark room. This was in a dark room, but this started processing on its own without me putting anything on it. So if you're going to make these, I made these like 4 days ago, and these I can still use. They haven't, I can still put out into the sun, but you can make so many pages of this.
Wow.
And yeah, so I'm really happy that I'm bringing you something that you haven't seen before.
Right? Somebody asked, what kind of paper did you use?
Okay, so it's called Nina, but so it's a smooth watercolor, kind of a cardstock. I bought it to do my gel printing on, my mono prints. I can't tell you how many pounds it is, but it's a nice cardstock.
Probably 140 pound.
Okay, and I don't think you want to use a regular watercolor paper, which is usually more textured.
Right.
So I think it's going to be harder to get your design to print the way you want to as crisp. But it's just so sweet to take these weeds and make these little tiny designs. So
they almost look like a photograph negative, you know?
Yeah.
They do.
They
And you
do.
can actually print very detailed transparencies and put them on the paper, and it'll transfer that. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So
Dorothy asked if Barely Art is sold in Canada. I would think they ship to Canada.
yeah,
because
I
you're
would
ordering
check,
right from them, Dorothy.
yes. And check on Amazon. I honestly don't know, but check for Barely Art cyanotype. And you get both of these, and there's powder that come in here. So you're adding the water, like I said. Like this, you can keep these for 6 months. But once you mix them together, then you have to use them within 2 to 4 hours.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Amazing.
love it.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Cool.
And somebody did say that she loves that you have a weed garden. Don't
I know. So I live on 12 acres, and I would say 11.99999 acres is weeds.
Oh my gosh.
So weeds that get mowed once a week.
That's where
And
those big
it's so
tractors.
amazing to go into your garden and look for the little tiny weeds.
Mm.
There are so many different amazing shapes.
Yeah.
And it's so fun because it's a project that when you break it down, it's not very expensive. So you can experiment.
Mhm.
You know, some things where it's like, oh, this is so much money. I don't want to go through the learning curve of trying to learn how to make something. But this is, you're going to try all sorts of weeds. The thing is, weeds, they will start wilting very fast.
Mm.
So you have to coordinate all of this. When the paper's ready and you run outside and you do the weeds and you bring it in and you stack it, and then you take it outside, and in 5 minutes, it's done. Then you just let it dry.
Amazing.
All right. Thank you.
Bravo.
Thank you. Well, who wants to go next?
Well, let Jules go next, because mine I can shorten if I need to. I can, that way.
Okay.
Yep. So let me grab Jules.
All righty. So my name is Juliana. A lot of people call me Jules, and I am from Jewel Loom. That's my company. And I am going to set up my loom for what I would refer to as the base of the project. And so every bead loom project starts with a base, and I am working towards,
Cute.
is this fabulous or what? It's
Yeah.
unbelievably gorgeous. Lots of bling, thanks to Jesse James. Had a lot of fun making this. And so what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring you down to the table so that we can get our weave on. And here we go. All right, so I have my loom in front of me, all right, and I'm just going to kind of give you some idea. The loom is literally in front of me. This is my beading thread, and I'm going to be working with everything right here. I want to turn my loom over because I'm going to tie the beading thread to this back button right here. So I like to make a little loop in the air, just kind of helps me to attach it to the button. And then I'm going to give it another little knot. Whoops. And I'm actually going to take off my fabulous ring because it's a little bit, it's a little bit much when I'm trying to actually make a companion for it. So I'm just going to tie that really nice and tight. And then what I'm going to do is start the warping process. All right. So let's see, here we go. So we've got the back of the loom. This is the button. You can see with this is my right hand. So I'm grabbing that beading thread, and you'll learn how you need to hold it best for, when you're doing this. I'm going to let the beading thread lay down into one of the grooves. Can you see that right there? It's just going to lay down into one of them. And then I'm turning the loom over, and I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm not too worried about counting the grooves to make sure they're exact, but I can tell that looks pretty good. I'm going to flip it over again, wrap it around that back button. And with this project, I am using Toho size 8/0 seed beads. So I need to skip one groove. All right. And then I'm going to bring that back up. And it looks like I might have skipped more than one, but that's fixable. And then we're going to come up here again, skipping one groove, wrap it around the back button, and skip a groove again. I've got giggles because I've got a fur baby snoring away underneath the table. Always makes weaving a pleasure when you've got your fur child. Okay, so right there, you can tell I've got 4 warps. So you always want one more warp than you are going to be beading across. So in this case, I'm going to have 3 beads across. So I need 4 warps. So I'm just going to make sure that I didn't lose the tension on that last warp. So let's do that again. Flip it over, and I'm going to wrap it around that back button a couple of times just to help me keep it secure. Then I'm going to bring in my scissors and snip, and we'll put that over to the side because just to clean up my space here. And then what I like to do is take that thread that I just cut, and I'll bring it under the warps, and then I'll bring it back through the loop. Okay, and then there's my first nice knot. And then sometimes what I'll do too is I'll take the original tail, and then I will make another little knot here. And you just want to make sure that's really nice and tight because you want your warps to stay really nice and secure as you're making your base. So let's turn that over. Isn't that great? And so that's perfect for my warps. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my 8/0 seed beads. We're going to pop their little top off there and sprinkle some onto my bead mat so that they don't go rolling everywhere. And we'll put the lid on that. I've already got my jewel loom needle ready to go and threaded, which is amazing. And I'm just going to find the end of my beading thread. And you can, I like to just do a little knot here if I can see. Let me see here. Trying to get it in. Yep. Okay. Nope. But wait, almost. All right, there we go. So I'm just adding a little knot to the side of the, this is the far left warp. And we're just going to pull it snug, but we're not going to pull it like super, super tight. Okay, so let me bring that up to the camera. I want you to be able to see that. So this is the left side of my my loom, and I'm actually really quick here. Just realized, there we go. Now I can see a little bit better. All right, so needle and thread are in my left hand. This is my left hand. Loom is in front of me, and my beads over here are to the right. I'm going to take the needle and thread. I'm coming under the warps, and I'm going to put that into my right hand, and I'm going to pick up 3 beads. All right, these are my 8-ohs. An 8-oh would be larger than an 11-oh. An 11-oh would be smaller, and we do use that when we make the ring. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pointer finger on my left hand, and you see how I'm using it to support the beads. Okay. Then I'm going to take the needle and thread, and I'm going back through the beads, and I want to make sure that the needle is gliding on top of the warps. So as the needle is going through, you see how you can see the silver? That helps me to know that I'm on top of the warps. If my needle and thread are not on top of the warps, the beads will literally fall out. I also want you to pay attention to how I dance with my loom. You see how I kind of like, like these are my legs, right? But they're really my fingers. And they kind of went into this position of holding the loom down. And then with my left hand, I'm just helping to guide the wildfire and the beads. And then see how that just came together? This is perfect. This is what you want. All right. And then once again, we're going to come under the warps. And we're just going to continue this process. And I'm using my left hand to help guide those little beads, pop them up in between the warps. And you could just see like how I really dance and maneuver with my, I call it dancing, because to me, weaving is the soulful, a very soulful dance, right? So my left hand, my right hand, the beads, the thread, it's like this whole beautiful thing that is happening. And then we're going to, once again, pop those up. And it's fun. I don't know if you could hear that, but it's fun when you hear the beads pop up in between the warps. And again, we're working with, probably, I want to say 1.5 yards of beading thread. And so you want to go slow, you want to take it easy. You want to help to guide the beading thread. Don't be in such a rush. I will tell you that I made that entire ring in about an hour. So that could be the case for you, but if it's your first time, don't beat yourself up. You're going to practice, and then you're going to get your rhythm, and and then you'll be doing them very quickly. So I'm just going to keep going at it. This is a smaller loom that I do enjoy working on when I'm making a smaller project, conserving my beading thread, not wasting. So it's always kind of nice to use a more compact loom when you're making these small projects. And one of the things I want to point out is I don't know if you've noticed, but when I pull, I kind of give it a nice little tug, not too much. But the worst thing that can happen is when you don't pull enough and you've got a little ribbon of beading thread, and I'll show you for giggles what that might look like. So I'm always paying attention to make sure that the consistency of how tight I'm going, just to make sure that I don't have that. So I'll kind of give you a little look here. So say I was pulling this through and then I got ahead of myself. And do you see that? See that tiny little bit of beading thread? And let me tell you, if you miss it, there ain't no fixing it. So you want to make sure that you pull nice and taut so that your sides are nice and clean. So just a little tip there. The other thing too that I wanted to mention earlier, and I love it when we share our tips because there are just things that help each other when we're doing different crafts. And so when I am working with this beading thread and this needle in particular, I will use my flat nose pliers to flatten the end of the beading thread. And then I will slide that, excuse me, I will slide that onto the eye of my needle. And so what it does is it flattens the thread and it makes it a lot more easy to thread your needle, especially if the eye is a little narrow. So again, we're just going back and forth. And what we're doing is we're building the actual base to the ring. And let me give you a visual. So this is the base, right? So this is the actual ring part that we're making. And how we got to this was we measured our finger with a sewing tape. Okay. So we'll come in here and we'll take whichever finger it is that we want to make the ring for. And I can see that to be on the safe side. Okay, so you might look at this and go, oh, 2 and 2.75, right? But I do 3. And the reason I do that, I don't know if you have a tendency of swelling up, but if you do, that ring is not going to fit. So I do go a couple extra rows. And it's okay if you make the ring and it doesn't fit because now you have a gift for somebody. And that has happened before to me, and that's okay. I love making my friends projects. I especially love making the rings. I feel like the rings are such an expression of whatever you might be feeling. And I don't feel like you have to well, you can certainly be conservative with your rings if you want, but I think that's one of those projects where you can just really kind of go crazy. And I definitely did with this ring, and it's just making me so happy. I think I'm going to be wearing a lot of it, and it makes me want to go buy something with yellow. So if you want to take a couple notes just to tickle yourself, you're going to need a loom. So you'll need a bead loom. You're going to need beading thread. You will need size 8/0 seed beads. I prefer Toho. They're Japanese. You certainly could use Mayuki. And if you wanted to use a check bead, that would be absolutely fine. But I do tend to go towards the Toho seed beads. So you'll need them in a base color. All right. I would call this like the base color. And then you're going to need a size 11/0. And that will be your smaller bead. And I'll bring that in so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. So this is like my bead that I'm going to be using for all of my loops and for adding all of those big, gorgeous, decorative beads. And so then, speaking of decorative beads, you'll need some. And it really just depends on, what you're aiming for. You know, if you are looking to make a really small conservative ring, then you're going to want to go with, I would say 3mm, 4mm, 5mm sized beads. And then if you want to go big or go home, you can take it up to your 6s, your 8mm, 10mm. I'll show you my ring again, and you can see that I probably went up to even bigger than a 12, quite frankly. So I have a few more rows to go. And, some of the tools that you would want on hand would definitely be like a pair of scissors, flat nose pliers. And I'll show you what those look like here in a second, just to make sure, in case you've never had a pair. Flat nose are basically exactly what you might think. They have a flat nose. All right. And so that's what I use to flatten the end of the beading thread so that I can get it onto my needle. It always helps to have a mat like I'm working on so that things don't roll around. This loom is a very lightweight loom. So, you're going to definitely want to work on a non-wiggle surface. And so what we should do right now is we should definitely come in with our sewing tape measure. And so you can see we got a ways to go. And so I'm just going to do a couple more here. And it's so, the most fun. How do I say this? The fun part about teaching this in person has always been having mostly ladies come into my class, and man, they are chatty. Woo! It's like somebody let mama out for the weekend and they have got to talk and talk. And, as a teacher, I'm like trying to get everybody settled and everyone's talking. And I'm trying to get it going. And then I finally get everybody going, and you could hear a pen drop because it's just hysterical. Like, it's a calming, meditative motion of going back and forth. And I kid you not, and if you've ever been in a live class with me, I'm telling the truth. You came in so happy and chatty, and then you started doing this and you calmed down and you were still happy. But you were happy and quiet. But it is fun. It's so fun to watch everybody just kind of chill. And it really is that kind of an art, right? It's just very calming. Now, I would, by all means, and I have made rings just by leaving the base this way. And they just become a really cool band, right? And you can make them in many, many different colors. You can make them in multiple colors. You could certainly do a band with just size 11 beads. With the 8 you are taking up more space, so they might get made quicker, especially if you're making them for a boutique, like if you're selling items or if you're making gifts. So, yeah. All right, so I don't know how many we just did right there, but I'm going to check again. I don't know that I'm that fast. I know it's a couple more. Let's just do a couple more. So yeah, so you could definitely just make your rings with the bands. And I love that. I have some pink ones. I have some blue ones. Gosh, I think I have a couple different colors. And you know, that would be a really fun party. Like if you just wanted to get your girlfriends together and you wanted to have like a little bead party, you could have all these little cute looms. So I still have a couple more, just a couple more rows. And by the way, I'm a scooper. Do you see how I scoop my beads? Some people go in to the bead hole. I'll show you how. And it cracks me up because it's not remotely at all. I can't even do it. Like it's not my, and it's not right or wrong. It's just how people choose to pick up their beads. So some people will, they come under here and then they do this. They go like, I can't. Okay, I'm doing it. Oh, okay, I got it. Some people do that, but I tend to be a scooper. And it's okay. You can be a picker or a scooper. It all depends on what's most comfortable for you. So again, it's a pretty repetitive, motion at this point, right? You're just building that base and you're doing it for, however many rows that your measurement is. Gets a little tight down here at the bottom, so you might have to like maneuver your hands in the loom a little bit, but just work with the loom. Don't ever force it. I'm going to do, I think, one more, and let's see what happens here. Hopefully I can tell you about this little tip too. So when you're beading, okay, and I go to put my needle in here and see how it doesn't necessarily want to go straight across. Do you kind of see how it's a little bit of an angle? And I've even had it sometimes where it's really noticeable. I don't ever force my needle to go straight in. Like if the beads need to be at an angle for this moment, it's okay, because once I get the needle through the beads, I can guide them back up, okay, and into position. So you don't ever have to really like force that. Let me measure again really quick because, okay, awesome sauce. So there we go. So this is the base of a project. And again, this could be your ring. You don't have to go big or go home. But if you know me, you know that I absolutely, and see, look, I've swollen up a little. And yeah, I so love this ring, y'all. Like I love it. And I am definitely going to take you to the next step. And I hope that you join along. And I hope you love this as much as I do. So let's go ahead and we'll put our beads up. Always scoop. You want to make sure that you put all of your beads away. Oop. So I appreciate you watching that and learning, and I hope that you've been inspired. And yeah, look at this. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Yay.
Thank you, Jules.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, isn't that so fun?
Yeah. What's so cool is to slow down tonight and watch you do that. It's very calming. It's very meditative. And I know you wanted to get that base done. So when are we going to learn how to put the other beads on?
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're going to learn that tomorrow, which is Thursday, July 24th in the year 2025. What are we calling this? The 2000s? Is that what we call the 1900s? The 2000s. And so tomorrow on the Jewel Loom channel at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And so, yeah, so we'll take it to the next level, and we will be sewing in all of the pretties. I'm so grateful that Jessie James Beads makes some really, really beautiful mixes. And this particular one was from an event
Yes.
that Ann put on. But don't be afraid to go big, because like I saw these big guys and I was like, do I dare?
You did.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jules. I want to make sure that we have Ann's project in tonight before we.
I'm grabbing Jules's link for her YouTube so that we can.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
And that way you guys can catch the rest of that.
Right.
And I don't know that I can do it in 10 minutes.
So we can go over. It
Okay.
doesn't matter to me because it just will start not a little bit later tonight.
Okay. So in order for me to do this, I have to go shut my overhead light off. So you girls talk for a minute, because otherwise there's a glare and we don't want that.
Talk amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm kind of working in the dark.
Okay. Well, it looks good from here. It doesn't look real dark from here, but
No.
Yes, but inside my room, very dark.
So Mary had a question about the size of beads, and I think you answered it, but can you explain? I think she was asking what the smallest size bead you can use. If you can answer really quick so we can make sure we can get to
size. You need size 11 O's, size 11 O seed beads. Size.
That's the smallest that the rows are, right?
The rows were made with 8 O's. Those are bigger than 11
right.
O's.
But I think she was asking in general the smallest size beads that you can use for the base.
You can use 11 O's if you're not going to do loops. If you're doing loops, you need to use 8 O's because you can't get through the 11 O back and forth like that.
Oh, makes sense.
It's too tight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And Mary, if you have more questions, go ahead and put them into the chat. We're going to turn this over to Ann.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm Ann Butler, and I am with Bella Crafts Publishing, and I am going to show you how easy it is to bling rhinestones in minutes. And I'm going to put my camera down so that we can get started. So I have a bunch of different templates with Rhinestone Genie, and they are all for paper or fabric. You can use them for any. I designed these more so that they could also be for paper projects. And I'm going to show you how quick and easy this is. So this is one of the tags, and they're magnetic, so they will stick to an aluminum tray. So you just need an aluminum tray. And because I do this so much, I have a very large container of rhinestones, and you just sprinkle them on. So you don't have to worry about them ending any place. You just sprinkle them on, and then you take and very aggressively, I would say, rub over the tag. And once you think you have all of them in there, then you just brush everything away. And you want to make sure to have all of the excess rhinestones away from whatever it is you're using. Here I'm using the tag, because for the next step, you don't want to pick any of those excess ones up. Now, you want to look and make sure all of those are facing the right way. If they're not, or if you missed one, you could come back and rub just a little more gently. And on the straight ones, I like to take the brush and just kind of push them all toward the edge, because sometimes they go a little wonky and you want them as straight as can be. And then you're going to take a sticky adhesive, which is you can use with an iron, and you want to commit. You don't want to sit and hesitate. You just want to put it down. don't think twice about it. If you're sitting there thinking about it, the rhinestones can automatically pop up onto that adhesive. So I rub first with my finger, and then I come back with the brush. And for this step, you're brushing firmly, right? And you can always start in one corner, and I pick up slowly, and I kind of watch to make sure all the rhinestones right there, I didn't get one. So I want to go back down and kind of press that one. And you just want to make sure that all the rhinestones are coming up. I'm going to give them all another firm. Yep, because we're live, people. We're having a couple that aren't coming up. But normally, they do come right up. And this is a great way, if you love bling, to bling anything in minutes. Instead of doing each and every rhinestone and placing them down, there we go. I have two that I missed, but and you can see that I missed them, but I know we don't have a ton of time. I'm going to set this very carefully and pick them up. And then I have one I missed here, and I'm eyeballing that to pick that up. There we go. I'm going to set this out of the way. You would always pour your rhinestones back into your container. Now you can place this onto the carrier sheet, and you can save this for as long as you want. You don't have to use it right away. You can save this for, I have some that I've done from shows from years ago that I still have, and they will just stay perfectly like that. So because I missed a rhinestone in there, I'm going to take one of my perfect ones and just show you how easy it is to adhere to paper. And I have my iron on. Move that out of the way. I have my iron on, but it's going to take a minute to heat up. And I'll show you some of the samples. So like here is rhinestones with the circles done on a card. This one is done with the circles and then 2 straight lines, and you can do those with the squares, the rectangles, however you want. This one is totally blinged up the entire thing. And this one is too. I don't know. There, you can see it right there. But they are so fun and easy to do. And like I said, you can even do it on fabric. So this is a pillow. And I'll show that when I put my camera up so you can get a better look at that. See if my iron is heating up. Brand new iron. And it is not heating up. So what you would do is pull this off. And these transfer sheets are reusable. You can reuse them until the sticky doesn't stick, which is awesome. And you just place it wherever you want it and just tap gently. Now you can, if a rhinestone is out of line, you can just simply push it with your fingers to put it back in line. And yeah, it's not heated up at all. but you would just take and hold for about, on paper, you would hold it for about 5 to 10 seconds, lift, don't rub it back and forth, just press and hold and press and hold. And then you would peel this off and have these beautiful results. That's how easy it is to bling something in minutes. And I'm going to switch my camera and bring everybody else back. My iron, brand new iron, I hadn't used it, and
So pretty.
of course it's not working.
So this actually gives everybody a perspective of what happens in our design studios. Because not everything works perfectly all the time. And
That's right.
that's how we work through it. And that's how we can be better at teaching you, so that we share our tips on how to get past the hiccups. So
Yes.
fine.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah,
But-
not a problem. Not a problem.
Okay, so this is my second Oslo iron. My first one, you plug it in, it's just on.
Mm.
And this one, I mean, you can see the red light,
Oh,
Huh.
yeah.
but
I wonder if there's a setting that.
it is not hot at all. And it's dark in my room. I mean, it's you can see light because I have a ring light over there, but I can't see. So I'm turning and voila. But
all-
that is honestly, it's quick and easy to do.
And I do want to point out on what not tonight, we do have several of those kits available for sale.
Ooh,
The pillow.
that pillow's crazy.
Yeah.
So good.
So thank you so much to everyone who has joined us tonight in the chat and on camera. And it was a great show. It was
So
filled
good.
with so much education in crafting, and
We love that.
I love it. So thank you so much. And Eileen, thanks for joining us always.
Sure.
Yeah, it's so good to see you.
My time of night. This is when
It
I'm.
is. This
Well,
is when Eileen and I talk.
That's right. Hours.
So we're going to start wrapping up. If you will join us over, and I'll grab the link at Whatnot. Anne has so many amazing things for sale tonight
I have
on
two.
the auction. And let me go see if I have that. I should have it in here. And we're just striking out left and right. I don't have that link, so I'm going to go grab it.
I tell
there I
you.
do. I have it. Never mind.
But see,
Never mind.
we just work around.
Keep going. Yeah.
Just keep
Yeah.
doing it.
So let me just post this in here. Thanks again. We're going to say our goodbyes. I love all of my creative girlfriends. I love everyone who joins us every Wednesday. Please spread the word to let people know that we're here every
Yes,
Wednesday night.
Please.
So we will see you again next Wednesday, or we'll see you in a few minutes on Whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah, I have my ring on too.
Oh, yeah.
I noticed. I noticed. I noticed.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us.